Hi everyone. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to our new component to Spanish 1412 in the spring semester of this Fluency Matters component. So just so you understand what's going on, last semester we just worked from My Spanish Lab and then you did activities in Senior Woolley. Both of those are going to continue. However, there's going to be less activities in My Spanish Lab, which I know is exciting for a lot of you and me too. I really heard you, and I know that that program can be frustrating, so I kind of went on the hunt trying to find something that I think will be a little bit more useful for beginner Spanish speakers. So I'd really like your feedback on this program after you get the chance to dive into it. So we will still be working with My Spanish Lab, just less. Instead of 6 chapter tests, there will be 4, and there will be less activities within those chapters. So we still have Senior Woolley activities, so much less activities in My Spanish Lab, and now this third component of the Fluency Matters novel is actually what we're doing here. So don't let that frighten you. I know you're still true beginners. If this is beginner Spanish second semester, I understand that that might intimidate you a little bit, but these novels are meant for true beginners. The vocabulary is very limited, and you're not expected to be a fluent native Spanish speaker in order to understand them. So the website that you're seeing in front of you on the screen is called fluencymatters.com, and this is where you'll go to log in. However, first, as I mentioned in my announcement, you guys need to all send me the email address that you would like to work from, and make sure you put your name in there in Spanish 1412 so I know what it's for. And I will actually add you individually to this program. So until you do that, you can't get started in this program. However, once you do, you will log in and you'll begin to see the assignments pop up. So this is an online novel, and the novel that we're reading this semester is called Esperanza, which means hope, and it's written by Carol Gobb. It is a beginner novel, as I mentioned, and there's 10 chapters, and each chapter has about 6 to 7 pages in it. So throughout the semester, I think every week for 10 weeks, you have one chapter to read and then to do the activities that go along with this novel. So you have a couple of options as to how you can begin. What I would suggest, unless you're a native speaker, that my suggestion is that you absolutely press play down here in the bottom left-hand corner, as you can see where my cursor is, and listen at least one time instead of just reading it on your own. It's really slowly read out loud, and it's kind of cheesy, but it will help you to understand the context of what is happening, to hear someone articulating the words and then using voices, and that's really helpful. In fact, I would suggest honestly listening to it multiple times. So I'm just going to give you an example of that.
Pienso que es
And
mi
you can turn
madre.
the pages by clicking the arrows.
Normalmente me llama a las 8.
So
Mi
she
madre
is,
me
I've
llama
kind of started in the
mucho.
middle. She's right here.
Hola. Hola. No es mi madre. Es una persona misteriosa.
Okay, so as you can see, it's really dramatized, but that will be very, very helpful for you in the long run. So the first step to every single chapter is to play the audio and follow along by turning the pages in this book. So let me just go back, take one step back. I forgot to mention this to you. So here's chapter 1. It's called El Teléfono, the phone. And before each chapter, it does give you a list of vocabulary words, and at any point during the audio recording, as you're following along with the book, if you read a part and you think, I don't know, I missed that, just pause it, come back here, check it out the common words that they've listed, see if that's one of them, and then go back, read it, make sure that you understand it, before you move on to the activities. So for the non-native speakers, I would suggest reading it as many times as you need to until you can listen and read it comfortably without and understand the whole time. So for some of you, that especially with the first chapter, that might take 5 times, okay, before you can sit and listen and really visualize what's going on. That doesn't mean that you're translating word for word in your head. That just means that if you could listen to it and create this picture of what's going on, as if you can imagine what's going on. And in fact, I would like you to not try and translate. Understanding another language doesn't mean that you're constantly translating it in your head into English. So you understanding this does not mean that you're reading it and going, it's a normal day. It's 8 o'clock of the morning and I prepare cafe. That's not what's going on. That's not what should be going on in your head. Ideally what we want is you listen, and instead of translating, you're creating that picture or that movie in your head as you go along. Until you can do that throughout the entire chapter, don't move on to the activities. After you're comfortable with activities, then you can look down here at the bottom and you'll see quizzes or activities that go along with each chapter. This one is a pre-reading vocabulary. So if you do see something pre-reading, do that before the chapter, and then the chapter will be even easier for you to do. Then usually there's 4 to 5 activities here. They don't take too long. Most of them are pretty simple, but you will have to understand the chapter well in order to complete them. So you'll go through all of these, and then I will actually transfer your grade over to Blackboard because this doesn't sync. So there might be a delay in my transfer depending on how busy I get in the semester. But if it doesn't, if you don't see it pop up in Blackboard within a week, feel free to email me. So remember, please send me the email, or email me from the address that you would like to use in this program, and let me know if you have any other questions. Once I get you guys all set up, then I'll send out an announcement and instructions on how to get going in this program. Good luck.